we meet Lucy, who's talking to Richard on a busy day. Richard tries to make a deal with Lucy. If she'll just deliver the package, she can go. She just wants to leave, but Richard keeps pushing her, and finally, he handcuffs the briefcase to her arm. Lucy is clearly very upset, scared, and pissed off. However, she has to go inside the building and deliver the briefcase to Mr. Zhang. Without having an idea of what is inside, she walks into the front lobby, as she's currently in Taiwan. They ask her name, and she says Richard asked her to deliver the package. She doesn't want to share her info, but they won't let it go, so she has to say her name is Lucy. Just then, guards come crawling out of the woodwork and start grabbing Lucy as she's in total panic. She watches Richard get shot outside. She's then dragged upstairs, where she's seated and surrounded by armed men. Mr. Zhang is clearly the head mafia, and makes an appearance from a room of dead bodies as she's begging for her life. Everyone clears the room, and she reluctantly does open it, expecting her life to end. Instead, she finds 4 large bags of brilliant blue rocks, drugs. A junkie is brought to test it, and when he goes a little nuts but doesn't die, he's shot for his participation, and Lucy thinks she's next. However, Mr. Zhang offers her a job, and gets knocked out. Now let's meet Professor Norman, who's giving a brilliant lecture on cerebral capacity, stating that most humans are at 10% of our capacity. Few others have been able to reach a bit further inside, but not by much. Dolphins are at 20%, and that's how they invented sonar communication between themselves. On Lucy, she wakes up with her stomach bandaged, and has surgery marks. She's barely had a chance to come to when guards escort her to the lobby, where an English man is speaking rapidly, telling her that she and the other poor dudes they kidnapped are all going 2 different countries with drugs in their bellies. There, they will be taken in, and the drugs will be removed. As usual, they are all warned that their families will be eliminated if they deviate from the course. Lucy wakes up in this concrete room with this moron, an impatient guy that wants the drugs, and Lucy is not having it. She's scared and doesn't understand, so the guy beats Lucy, and kicks her, and leaves to consider her actions. Unknowingly, the man has set off an explosion inside her body because the drug bag has opened up, and is draining into her. Rapidly, her nerves and cells start exploding. She's crawling the walls and ceiling, and her body is on fire. The professor states that no human has ever reached 20% of brain capacity, but it seems to us that Lucy just got there. Humans can control other people at 40%. Lucy has been sitting in quiet contemplation, feeling herself. When that moron comes back in, she's lost in thought as her brain and body catch up to each other. She's awakened in a way no other human has been before. She's also above the nonsense now, so she makes quick work of taking him and everyone else down before escaping into the city. She can feel, hear, and sense everything. She realizes she can now understand other languages as well. She makes her way to a hospital surgical room, where she quickly diagnose and kill a patient that wasn't going to live anyway. When the doctor removes the bag, he knows right away what it is, CPH4. It's a synthetic version of a natural hormone that pregnant women develop in the 6th week of pregnancy. It gives the fetus all the information and substance it needs and is equivalent to an atomic bomb of energy and information. Lucy returns to the scene of the crime and kills everyone in the high-rise office building she was held in. On her way to find Mr. Zhang in his lair, she stabs Mr. Zhang hands and rapes his brain of the knowledge he carries of the locations to where the other drugs are being taken. He's very upset and yells. Lucy now knows she needs all the drugs to completely open her mind. She is reading and studying everything ever published by Professor Norman. The professor gets a call, and it's Lucy. She has read his research and needs to meet with him. So Lucy shows him her abilities by showing up on his TV, and phone, and laptop. She can be everywhere because she's on a higher level. He is shocked, and fascinated, and dumbfounded. Lucy wants to know what she should do with all this knowledge and power. The professor says we are here to progress, and then pass on what we learn. So Professor Norman says, pass it on. They make a plan to meet. Lucy must get to the other drugs, and to do this, she must travel coach just like everyone else. So she gets all prettied up, and can now change her appearance instantly. She's now at 30, and makes contact with the lead officer at the police department, explaining about the drugs, and that she will need them all once they have been captured. His name is Pierre, and he seems completely lost, but Lucy is very persuasive. Our trusty cops have found and captured all the men, and are taking them to the hospital for drug removal. When Lucy comes to, she's in a hospital at 50% cerebral capacity, and needs all the drugs. She takes out all the staff trying to keep her there, and finds the cop she called, Pierre. She needs his help, and shows him he can give it willingly or she'll take it. They head to the hospital where the other victims are being worked on in surgery. Korean mobsters drive, and get into a pretty cool car chase. The airwaves and cell phone data tell Lucy that Mr. Jang and his goons are out looking for the drugs as well. His henchmen get to the hospital, and are about to get away with all the drugs when Lucy arrives. Now she's past the cerebral stage that allows her to now control others. So Lucy does just that. She quite literally moves men out of the way, and blows off the attack like they aren't even there. Guns taken away, and the men are just floating in the air. She gets all her drugs and is headed out the door. Police officer Pierre is staring dumbfounded. Lucy kisses him, but you can see she's completely detached as a human. It's just a gesture now. Pierre follows Lucy, and helps her from here on out. Mr. Jang spots her leaving the hospital. She's completely lost in thought and doesn't see him. He follows Lucy and Pierre on their way to meet the professor at the college campus. Professor Norman has given all the other professors the rundown on Lucy, and they all want to ask questions and understand. All the Taiwanese gang members, including the drug lord, have made it to the campus, and are fighting it out in the hallway with the cops that have surrounded the building. They're giving Lucy and Pierre time to work. Guns are blazing and tension is very high. Lucy shows the doctors an example of what it all means. She's breaking her thoughts down, and telling them what she knows now. It all comes down to time. We have taken our vast amounts of knowledge, and have made it small so we can understand it better. What Lucy says it boils down to is that time is the only proof of our existence. Without time, we don't exist. She explains that she will need all the rest of the drugs so she can go matrix on the world, and discover 100% cerebral capacity in order to pass the knowledge on. She says she'll build a new kind of computer, with all her knowledge, and make sure he has a password. Essentially, she's at 70% when they hook up her IVs, and start administering the drugs to her. The fighting in the hallway has reached its peak, and everyone's dying, and shooting. Lucy's at 90% when she starts to become black slime, and enters every possible electronic device around her and proceeds to build a superhuman computer. She's reaching out to the far ends of the universe, and her body is being taken over by the knowledge slime. She goes back in time, to the 1800s, to the Indians, and then barren lands. She has gone way back to where the dinosaurs lived, back to the beginning. Lucy is so quiet and contemplative. She has pure understanding, when, and why. She is complete calm in all the madness around her, here in her mind, and outside of it. She will keep going until she touches life itself. While this is happening, all the bad guys have died. Mr. Jang is pointing a gun at Lucy. She is close to 100%. When the gun does go off, Lucy is gone. Her clothes fall empty to the floor, and Mr. Jang looks around with zero understanding of what's happened. If this man uses more than 3% of his brain, I'd be shocked. Pierre kills him, and the professors all look around, completely confused but also not. A black slime hand gives Professor Norman a literal scan disc with everything Lucy knows on it. And then all the black slime that was Lucy is gone. Lucy is now everywhere. Give it some thought. Comment below. Like and subscribe, so that you don't miss out. Until next time.